Good morning, everybody. Steve, that's good news. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Axel, Hakan, Anthony. And good morning, Robert, and good morning, Andrew. Hakan, I see you've just pushed, and Uncle John is on his way already. I think he's left. Yeah, he's gone already. He's taken off. Okay. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Restwire. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Gents, I've started setting up, but there was a comment a couple of streams ago about somebody asking me about the planned fuel. So I said I'll spend some time on it. So if you will indulge me, I'm going to just quickly run through the basics and then we can get going. So for the purpose of the demonstration, I beg your pardon, I've actually drained the fuel a little bit. So there's currently only 500 kilograms in the system. Well, I don't know where these hiccups come from now, but anyway, sorry, apologies. So I've got very little fuel in here. Now what happens is we're going to ask the fuel truck to put in or top it up to get to 6,900 kilograms, 6.9 ton. But while the refueling is busy happening, we're going to get the wrong performance calculations in the FMC. So to alleviate the problem, to get rid of the problem, to bypass the problem, whatever you want to call it, what you need to do is you need to put the planned fuel in 6.9. The moment you put that 6.9 in, you can click on zero fuel weight and get the gross weight and everything. So we actually now go and look at our OFP. You'll see there that just by adding the 6.9, which is our fuel, in the plan section, we now actually get the proper zero fuel weight. And also if we look at our takeoff weight, it's 69 there, and that's 69.1, and we all know by now that the extra 100 is the taxi fuel. Okay, so if you don't put the planned fuel in there, okay, you see your gross weight changes immediately. I just want to see if we actually delete everything and start over. Alright, yeah. So the problem is going to now be that because your gross weight is incorrect, you're going to get the incorrect calculations for fuel for the fuel economy, the fuel usage, the required fuel, all these kind of things that is related to your weight and your fuel. Anything related to weight and fuel will be off. It will be completely wrong because of the fuel. And this is why we use the planned fuel. So we put that in place, and the moment we do that, our figures balance. We actually can continue setting up the FMC and get the correct values at the end, opposed to setting up the FMC with the incorrect weights, getting incorrect calculations, and then having to come back later and redo everything. The only thing that you need to do once everything is done, once you are done with the FMC, before pushback, you need to come and you need to delete that. If you do not delete that, all calculations will always, during your flight, be calculated based on that instead of the actual fuel. And we all know as fuel burns, the aircraft's going to become lighter, the CG is going to shift. And that is what you obviously want, because that's true. That will give you, false information during your flight. So that in a nutshell is basically what it is, and I'll show you later when I come back. We're just going to quickly delete that. But right now, I can literally continue setting up my flight. And I know based on that, I'll get the correct calculations in the FMC. I'm going to go up to 310. Winds. I'm trying to force myself to do it differently now, because when we do the shared flight thing, we have to do it more real world like. So 197 at 20. Oh, and by the way, we've been told there's no more load shedding today, so we don't know how long it's going to last, but we've got electricity again, so it'll be right. Our ISA deviation is that one, so it's a positive 2. Let's see the average, and the average is going to be a positive 4. We'll stick to the 2. and execute. Alright, let's hide this one. Done with that one. Gonna go on to the limits, and we're gonna take 32 over there. That's good enough. Yeah, we want to climb. Right, flaps 5. You see now all the CGs, everything is calculated appropriately. And in the interim, if we actually go back to this page, you can see our fuel is not even close to being correct. But we can literally step through, and we know that because we did the effort of putting the planned fuel in there, everything is calculated perfectly. Alright, so I'm going to continue setting up, and before we do the pushback, we're just going to obviously see that the fuel is loaded and get rid of that planned fuel thing. Alright, I hope that helps you guys. If you have questions, just leave it again. Right, okay, Steve, coming to X-Enviro. Yes, I don't know if you guys noticed this. This is the latest X-Enviro that I'm using. We are not allowed to show you anything of it during any beta phases, so that's why I didn't even bother. That is fair. But this is the actual production model that I've got running here now, which is the same that you guys can download from the website, and here it is. I mean, I'm going to show you outside just now. We're going to look at the clouds as we fly. It's a major improvement over 1.16 as far as I'm concerned. Please read the changelog, and then you'll see what is done and what was done and what still needs to be done. And as Magnus said in his statement, it's a work in progress. They'll continue with it. And yes, I agree with you. It's a shame. It's a pity about X-Plane 12. I am not sure, and like Magnus said, we don't know their reasoning. It's weird. It's strange. And all we can do is hope that they change their mind a little bit later on, just as Microsoft were forced, literally now, to change their mind about their weather engine and allow access to the developers. I mean, that's one of the cornerstones of X-Plane, is the community. And if you alienate the community, you're going to lose your sim. It's as easy as that in my mind. You know, we can only carry, you know, so much. And I think part of the success of X-Plane has always been the fact that the community has been so much involved. Now, if you take the community out, what's left? You know, so I'm a bit concerned about that. I really hope they come to the party. Right, so 575. I hope you did that, Linda. I don't know why my frames are all of a sudden so lame again. Weird. 575 and 150. Ah, there's the problem. And I'm starting my APU. I've been sitting here for over an hour. I've had 37 to 40 frames all the time, and now all of a sudden it's down to like 20. Weird, man. Weird. Enjoy your haircut. Right, well, we are still busy. We're almost there.
We cannot leave again until Karen items are properly put away.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I will leave it for the traffic cops to sort them out. Okay. Well, when the ticket comes, we'll put the red carpet out. We'll sort him out, don't worry.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross check.
Right, so now we are done. He told us he's done, so now we have to go back, and we actually just need to delete that over there. And the least we can do is just verify the V speeds. 150. Alright, okay. That's done. That's all done. Before start procedure.
Before start procedure. Before start procedure complete. Ready for before start checklist.
We'll release that brake the moment we are ready.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine. (25 and 2).
Hello Peter, good morning.
Starter cutout.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Lining up, guys.
Safe flight, enjoy. It's amazing to see all the
Operation
layers.
complete. Set parking brake.
25 and 2.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All the new cloud formations. Really nice.
Starter cutout.
Yoga.
Engine start procedure complete.
Tow is disconnected and bypass
Passing
has been
10,000
removed
feet.
and signal
Ready for
authorized.
before taxi
We'll see you
procedure.
next time and have a safe flight.
Flaps 5
Drinking
set.
coffee.
Yeah, my first cuppa is almost done. I've got a second one lining up already. Yes, Peter, I'm flying X-Plane 11 for the new X-Enviro. I wanted to show the guys what the new X-Enviro looks like. Right. Yes, Tommy. Yes.
Taxi lights on.
By the way, gents, if you are not aware, if you don't see it in your store account yet, the latest X-Enviro, you can just get it from the xenviro.net website. So just go fetch it there. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure. Before takeoff procedure complete.
I see tower is online, gentlemen, so he's changed the runway. He's now made it 3-1 instead of 0-5, so just FYI. Ooh, he's just gone offline. We still have ground.
Traffic.
He'll probably just reconnect later, hope. Alright, I've started my timer.
Approaching 2-5. On runway 25. On runway 25. On runway 25.
Stabilized. Takeoff thrust set. Calibration altitude. Flaps 1 set. Flaps upset. Approaching transition.
Final flight level 350.
Transition altitude.
Gentlemen, I've just spent 5 minutes talking and my mic is muted, so I'm gonna have to re-say everything that I've just said. Okay. So, let's start from the beginning. Damn it. Okay. So when you load the Zibo Mod, remember you've got two things that you need to load. You need to load the payload and you need to load the fuel. Right, thanks Steve. I noticed it too late, man. I'm just going to repeat everything. Okay, so when I go into my payload, I don't worry about things like this layout. It's totally irrelevant. It just confuses everybody and it takes a hell of a long time to try and balance it back to here. The easiest way of doing this is you enter the full total payload from your OFP that you get from SimBrief. This now goes into the calculations. Zibo distributes it with an algorithm and it puts a lot of stuff into a lot of places. Okay. I always fly the 189-seater. Okay, I've stopped flying the 160 a long time ago. So what I'm saying to you is all true and relevant for the 189-seater. The moment you change the seating configuration, your CG will change. So your nose will naturally lift more or go down more, depending on where your CG is. It's either going to be nose up or nose down. How do you know where it's at? You look at your gross weight CG. Alright, that gross weight CG is going to move forward to dip the nose or backwards to lift the nose. Alright, so that is your guide. Okay, now what I do, and again this is specifically for the 189-seater, is I put in my total value. I take 500 kilograms from forward cargo and put 500 kilograms. So you basically take it from the front and put it into the back. Okay, so you subtract 500 there, you add 500 there, you get your balance again according to your OFP. This immediately gives you a different calculation on your landing weight CG. Now in the aircraft, in the Boeing, your best landing CG is between 20 degrees and 23 degrees, your CG. Okay, so what you want is, if you want to do it to this level, I mean, you don't have to, because the Zibo mod will function without you having to do this. The math is clever enough, but if you want to influence this and you want to change that attitude, the best way of doing it is to make sure that your landing weight is somewhere in the middle between 20 and 23, and 21.5 is obviously the middle, mathematically speaking. Alright, so by taking 500 from the front, putting 500 in the back, I've now manually put it as close as humanly possible. I'm definitely not going to split hairs about 1 or 0.1%, okay? So that's close enough to the middle, and you'll see I have a much better approach, much better landing, much better attitude during the flare. Everything is better just because of the CG being in the appropriate place. Now, if you don't change this, and all these figures are in the Zibo install guide, okay? Sometimes what happens is this value changes. This one at the very back, the galley at the rear. As far as I know, the default is 410. But because SimBrief uses a different rounding to what Zibo uses, and we've tried to get them to work together, trust me, SimBrief changed their formula. It worked like 1 week, and then they reverted back to their old way of doing things, and I haven't bothered to ask them to, bring it back into Zibo's alignment. It's obviously a bigger issue on their side than we initially thought, so we look at what they give us on the OFP, and if we need to, we just add a little bit more just to make sure that our zero fuel weight is exactly the same, okay? But everything I do is based on the 189 seater, and that's where I get my graph, and that's where I get all of these things that I do, okay? So that's my suggestion, is number one, try the 189. This is the easiest one to work with. All these others, because they are non-standard issue kind of versions, okay, there's more thinking required when you work with those ones. This one's just easy. This is much easier to work with. Alright, so now I've said a lot. You can see all my CGs are in the green. Everything is working exactly the way it's supposed to be. I think the next step would be I need to go back now and read your comments, answer them, and then you guys just ask more questions, and I'll recap whatever I need to recap. But it's very important. This is where the whole thing started this morning, right? That index preferences, that planned flight number, that value must be removed before takeoff. It must be, and that's not a Mr. Zibo issue, that is a Mr. Boeing thing, okay? Mr. Boeing says if you do not remove that before flight, every calculation in flight will be wrong, because it's using that as an override. It's reading from that side. That is why you put it in while the refueling is happening, so that you can do all your performance calculations. Anything regarding weight and fuel is influenced by it. The same goes now. If you take off with that, everything is still going to be based on that, but it's wrong, because you're actually using fuel, your weight's changing, your CG is changing, but the aircraft doesn't know this because you forgot to remove this. It's very important. It has to come out so that it can use actual fuel and weight balance figures to calculate what it needs to do. And I hope you guys understand. So let's go read. Alright, when you fly in X-Plane 11, or well, X-Plane as such, what happens is, let me show you this way. What happens is a lot of people misjudge the power of their computer and the computer resources. So what happens is, during the loading, and because there are still a lot of ex-Lua scripts running in the Zibo mod, some of these scripts don't load. So what we've always said, we initially said load the 172 first, start up, load the Charlie 172, get in the Cessna. Once everything is settled, then load the Zibo, because then it's only the Zibo loading, and you have a good chance that your scripts will actually load. Now, subsequent to that, probably also 3 or 4 years ago already, I started using the reload the current aircraft, skip, alt, and reload. The moment you click that, okay, so what I do is I spawn into the Zibo, I stand at the stand, I'm sitting and I'm watching my hard drive light stop, okay, because the hard drive spins for quite a while to get the weather and all the other plugins and everything running. Once the hard drive is stopped, that light is dead, I click on that developer reload option. Okay, it reloads the Zibo mod in place, right there. Alright, and then that is one way to virtually guarantee 100% that all the scripts work and that you don't get funny issues when you fly. Okay, because a lot of times people get funny issues and they tell you the Zibo is broken, but it's just because their computer just wasn't strong enough in the beginning to load everything because it was tasked by too many things at the same time. As easy as that. So some people need to do it, some people don't. You know, just because you don't have to do it doesn't mean someone else don't have to do it, or because you have to do it, someone else, you know, is required to do it when they don't have to do it. This is where being an adult comes in and just thinking a little bit about the situation, because not everybody needs the solution, but it works. If you are in doubt, no matter how big your system is, but there you go. That is the way we ensure that the Zibo mod actually runs. Okay, next one. Yeah, Peter, mic was off. Sorry, man. Yeah, exactly what I said, laughing. Yeah,
If giving technical information completed, I want to ask a question, Nico.
then ask your questions.
What are we going to do in Malta?
Well, there is an ATC, so he's now changed the runway. He wants us to use runway 13 instead of 05. Let me see, what the heck is that about? Let me go see. Let's see this runway thing. Yeah, he says runway 13. Okay, so we're going to have to change that. Let's look at how are we going to change this?
I'm using the NOLAR transition.
Yeah, you're welcome, you're welcome. I'm already going to go to GZO, the VOR, so I'm just going to flip over from GZO right onto finals. That's perfect for me. I'm not going to bother with any transitions.
Nico, what are we going to do after flight in Malta?
I've got some stuff here at home to do. Why?
Are you planning to fly another one?
Not immediately, no, I've got other stuff to do. I need to go get more of these mosquito aluminium nets and stuff for the windows and install them and get us ready for the summer and keep the cat inside. So I'm gonna do all kinds of housework and stuff today.
Okay, sir.
1000 to level off.
Then if everything works out, we can fly again this evening, but I'm holding out to see what's happening before I make any plans.
Roger that.
Josh, the only reason I stopped flying X-Plane 12 at this moment is because I'm showing the new X-Enviro 1.17, which you can see out the window there. So this is like a demonstration of X-Enviro flight more than anything else. And it's nice being back in X-Plane 11, having my sceneries and stuff work proper. Yeah. Steve, enjoy, buddy, and keep us posted. Send some pictures and videos and stuff, you know. Don't have all the fun there on your own. Wish I could be there, man. I wish I could get the holiday. So I hope you enjoy it. Have fun. We'll see you when you come back. Of course, Carolus. As long as I'm sitting here doing nothing, you're more than welcome. You can throw me with all the questions. Look at the clouds, how different they are. Wow, man. Much, much nicer. Nah, it's fine, Steve, it's fine. If you can pop in maybe tomorrow morning again, just quick hello, it'll be also fine. But whatever you do, buddy, the question or the sentiment is you need to go enjoy yourself. I bet you deserve the holiday, so just chillax. Seems our tower is still, well, he's back, but ground has gone off now, and that's our little train there. Steve, we went on holiday last time in 2018, in October 2018. We're desperate for one too. Carolus, I'm just thinking out loud, and I bet it's got something to do with the weights. Yes, must be. Because if the aircraft is properly loaded, properly set up, you shouldn't have it. I mean, you can look at any of my streams, I don't have that. So obviously I'm doing something different to you. So my suggestion is to watch a few videos, come to Discord if you want somebody to talk you through it. You know, if I'm here, I'll even do it with you. You know, and then we can set you up to properly load the aircraft, and then you go try. That's the one thing. The other thing is, in X-Plane 11, please make sure you don't use the experimental flight model. The Zibo Mod has its own Twixter flight model, and if you forget to switch the experimental flight model off, you will also get kind of funnies. And 72 nautical miles for top of descent.
Good morning.
Was thinking about you earlier. Good morning, Sasa.
How's it going? All good?
All good in here?
Yeah, all good. Still away, but going back today.
Okay.
Evening.
Okay. So I'm feeling better today than last
Okay.
week. So also, if you want to do maybe a shed flight later on, we can try look at that. It should be okay.
We can gonna be back earlier than 19 Zulu tonight, so it's gonna be a bit late.
No problem. Well, it's played by ear. There's no pressure.
No, we can do it tomorrow because tomorrow it's late afternoon. Should be home
Okay.
and free.
Okay.
Now I saw that, of course, I'm away, so Laminar released the beta 6.
Yeah, they just made it for you. You know that.
Exactly. So just in case for your agenda, consider that I'm gonna be away from my home again at the end of next week. So be ready for another release between
Beta 7.
Saturday and Sunday next week.
Thank
Beta
you.
7.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
pleasure.
give you that. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, just put something in the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw X-Enviro as well came with an update for XP11.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I will stick with XP11 to do the proper flight at the moment.
Good plan.
But I think we can use the curve flight on XP11
You should
without
be able
any
to.
problem.
Justin was here earlier, but he didn't stick around for long. But we can just ask him, but it should be the same.
Well, I used it with Gary a couple of weeks, and 90% of the things went correctly, so no issue at all. Will be impressed with me and you as the X-Enviro. So it will be nice to try share flight with X-Enviro, because with Gary I yet to use the active sky just to have this sort of weather. So it will be nice to use X-Enviro.
Yeah.
Question, guys. Yesterday I had to do a go around, but I was wondering, when do you turn or arm the auto throttle again?
Auto throttle? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it depends what type of go around you're doing. If you already disconnected everything, autopilot and auto throttle, then Boeing suggests to complete the go around procedure manually in terms of both pitch and thrust, and then re-engage the auto throttle as part of the re-engagement procedure. So it's going to be roll mode, pitch mode, autopilot A or B, and then the last one is going to be the auto throttle. And this is to avoid any possible malfunction of the auto throttle or re-engagement problem during a go around. Instead, if you are doing a go around, starting go around when the auto throttle is still on, then we fall out in toga procedure, which is going to be, I don't want to call it an automatic go around, but it's going to be an throttle go around. So in other words, in that case, the auto throttle is already armed. So manual flight, you rearm the auto throttle when you completed everything in terms of flap retraction, and you engage the autopilot, and then after the autopilot you engage the auto throttle. That's the sequence.
Okay, that makes sense. Yesterday I had to do one when I was flying manual already, and indeed arming the auto throttle didn't work properly. I made some
Yes.
other mistakes too, but that makes sense. You go first manual, and then when you're all leveled up again and the autopilot is working, you do the auto throttle again. Yeah.
Exactly. Remember that when you engage the autopilot, during a go around, we know if you start a go around manual, so no autopilot, no auto throttle, and at some point you engage the autopilot, the computer, the FMA, will go out, or actually not the FMA, but the auto flight system of the aircraft will go out from the TOGA mode. This means that the speed window will open, and if you are retracting the flap, you have first to manually go to the bug up speed and then retract the flaps. Otherwise, you may end up in a low speed situation with flaps up, speed at 170 at the speed that you engage the autopilot. That's why Boeing suggests be standard. First complete the flap retraction and then engage the automatics.
Yeah, understood. Indeed, the flap retraction was my problem yesterday. So I ended up in the ground. But do you still?
That's exactly some incident happened for this reason. Because then you engage the other while the speed window will open, but the pilot doesn't realize that, so they don't manually bug up. The other situation could be that you reach the altitude. Okay, if you reach the altitude, let's say that there are some airports that have a very low approach altitude. Okay, let's say I'm thinking about Norway. I think Tallinn or places like this, they have very low go around altitude, something like 2,000. Okay, now think that you're doing an ILS, and let's say you start the go around at minima, which is more or less 200-250 feet above the ground for a standard Cat 1. 2,000 will come very, very quickly. 2,000 is 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Okay. At that point, the automatic system of the aircraft will just transit from TOGA into alt acquire and then immediately into alt hold, just because the pitch will sense that he's approaching very quickly the level of alt, which is 2,000 feet for it. When you will sit into alt acquire, then alt hold, and that's the important of always look in front of your eyes at the FMA, you will lose the TOGA mode in the pitch mode, and then the speed window will open, because now the aircraft or the autopilot system of the aircraft transit or change into a normal alt hold mode. So you have the MCP speed, the roll mode that you have, and alt hold. So the speed window will be open, and you have to be very careful, because at this time is the responsibility of the pilot to manually bug up, then retract the flap.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks for the clear explanation, Sasso. And and then so you still push TOGA, but you don't do the
always.
Yeah,
always.
Okay.
You push TOGA because it has to be in your memory. You push TOGA because even if you are in manual flight, you want the flight director to give you TOGA guidance, because the flight director still give you the pitch for a go around, and also the roll mode. Okay, initially will be wings level, and then if you have nothing in the roll mode, or if you have LNAV arm, nav will become green, so you will have the roll giving you information to follow the missed approach. So it's just helping the pilots to, share the workload with the pilots. But in terms of speed, you have to be careful because it's the auto throttle.
Yeah, understood. You have to do it yourself. And that was one of the mistakes I made yesterday.
Yeah. Sorry, Nico. Just started to
No
talk.
problem. Right, no, I don't mind you helping, you know that. You're part of the furniture here. You need to help when it's required, kind of a thing. I now need to just start setting up to actually go down and land.
You going to Malta?
Yes.
What is 1-3 or 3-1?
1-3.
Oh, straight in then. Oh yeah, remember. Initially, Malta control, or actually Rome control, will send you to Gozo because they have no responsibility on that side. But because you want to do a straight in, what you can do is to take Gozo minus 20 and
I've
then
just linked
connect.
it. I appreciate it, Sasa, but I just took out the discontinuity. It's going to be a quick zigzag, and I'm straight in. I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah. Ah, okay, perfect.
Forget this is X-Plan 11. I've got different key bindings. Right.
No.
Is runway. 2,000. $3,000. Right, PFD is done. Everything here is done. Done and done. Waiting for the descent. Yeah, 48 nautical miles for the buck descent.
Ready for descent procedure.
What do you call this big island here? Is this Sicily or what? What is this island here that we're going over with Palermo and Catania and so on? What do you call
Sicily.
it? Sicily. Okay.
Yeah, Sicily.
Godfather's place.
Uh-huh.
Corleone. Hakan Corleone's place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Remember Sicily, 1912. You remember the Golden Girls? The old grandma always, when she had a story to tell, she said something like, "Remember this or picture this, Sicily, 1912." She would give a story. I think that's what she said. If memory serves me correct, I might be totally wrong, but I think something like that.
If I go there, I'm going to buy olive oil.
Ah,
Pretty good there. Huh?
Exactly. Italians and Turks know how they cook.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Sasso, do you know Danilo Zanna?
Who?
Danilo Zanna. He's a chief in Turkey. He's
Okay.
making really good jobs. He opened a restaurant in Istanbul. Also managing a TV program on TV, MasterChef. So we love him. He knows very well Turkish, by the way. Right? It Danilo Zana, Turkish MasterChef, Danilo.
okay.
Danilo.
Careful, I don't catch up with Anthony there. Need to slow down.
A few minutes later, I'm going to contact with the tower. Therefore, I will be muted.
Yeah, me too.
Feedback, Nico, on X-Enviro?
No, I love it. The sliders settings have changed. So we'll just have to find your happy place again.
Okay.
Approach top of descent.
Yeah, that's all. But even at the lowest slider setting, it's still much better than the previous model. Okay, so the slider settings work wonderful for higher end computers. You know, you can add nicer textures or nicer display of the textures actually, but nothing wrong with the lower end. And I mean, look at my frames. It's anywhere between, I would say, 28 and 35 at this point in time. I had to bring one of the sliders down a little bit to the left earlier when I was on the ground, because all of a sudden after a weather update I had zero. Well, not zero, but very much lower FPS. So they're still developing it. It's still continuing. You know,
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
yeah, they'll fix whatever they need as time goes on. But I like it. There's much more layers in the cloud. There's depth and definition in the cloud. You've now got the anvil clouds and a couple of other nice to haves that come with. So it's really nice. I like it. I've seen some pretty impressive cloud formations, you know, that's more real.
Yeah.
The shadow of clouds on top of clouds and all these kind of small little things have come a long way now.
Perfect.
There's my descent. Yes, Tommy. Yeah, the little nav map I've got is the latest one that's Explain 12 compatible. I have not spent much time with it. I just make my flight plan and close it. I really, really need to go spend time with it because there's certain things it's doing now that I just don't like. That I really need to investigate whether I can switch it off or change it. But, I mean, the map that you see on Navitab here, right now, there, in the Navitab add-on on the tablet. I mean, that is little nav map for Explain 12, or at least the latest one that's Explain 12 compatible. That is definitely it.
Skymatix 035 Malta Tower, descent via star, report established runway 13.
Good morning. Report to establish the runway 13, Skymatix 0355.
Turkish 982, I need you to release holding point Delta aircraft on 5 mile final, legal exit soon.
Roger that, immediately we are continue to taxi 982.
Hello, Reinhard. No, man. Look at this.
Skymatix 0323, descent via star, report established runway 13. Skymatix
This is
welcome to Malta,
Sunday
taxi to stand number
you
4
haven't
via
charged,
uniform.
there is no uniform taxiway. Could you please check again?
Turkish 982, it appears that you are at stand 18. Stand number 3 is right in front of you after you pass taxiway X-ray on the route.
Okay, thank you.
Skymatix 0355.
Gear stations at 1, Skymatix 0355, winds come runway 13, clear to land.
Clear to land, Skymatix 0355.
Skymatix 047, taxi to stand number 4 via uniform.
Skymatix 047, stand 4 via uniform.
Skymatix 047, give way to the aircraft Turkish Airbus A320 on taxiway Victor currently.
Skymatix 047, welcome.
Flight level 100. Landing lights switches on.
Skymatix 047, I need you to move traffic on 2 mile final for runway 13. They will vacate via Charlie or Delta. I need them free.
Photo 047 moving.
On the block,
Approaching
Turkish
transition.
982.
Turkish 982, yine bekliyoruz. Hoşçakalın.
Teşekkür ederim hocam radar servisi için. Görüşmek üzere.
Flaps 2 set. Flaps 1 set. Transition level. Ready for approach checklist.
Skymatix 0323, report established runway 13.
I'm glad you like it, Robert. You guys must feel free to ask questions and to get into the swing of things, you know. I mean, if there is something you need to know, I'll try answer it, especially when Sasso is here. It just makes it so much easier.
Skymatix 0355, vacate runway 13 via Alpha, hold short runway 31, expect late backtrack runway 31.
Vacate the runway and hold before the track back. Skymatix 0355.
Flaps 5 set.
Skymatix 0323, wind scarm, runway 13, clears line. Skymatix 0323, roger, continue with Mr. Approach procedures. Skymatix 008, reduce to minimum approach speed on runway 13. Skymatix 0355, backtrack runway, exit Charlie.
Say again? Skymatix 0355?
Skymatix 0355, backtrack runway 31, exit Charlie on right.
Backtrack runway 31 and exit on Charlie. Skymatix 0355.
No delay, please. Skymatix 008, reduce to minimum approach speed.
Skymatix 008, reducing minimum approach speed.
Flaps 25 set. Flaps
Is
30
what
set.
that means me too, so
Ready for landing checklist.
I am in landing configuration
Skymatix
already.
032, turn right heading 230.
We're 20 miles out almost, 19 in a bit.
P-brake, Nico.
Thanks, Sasa. I was busy
Skymatix
concentrating on the
0323,
UAV now.
Salvo. Skymatix 0323, turn right heading 230.
1000 to level off.
Skymatix 0355, expedite vacating runway via Charlie, traffic on 7 mile final.
Expediting exit Skymatix 0355.
Tower's got his hands full with us this morning.
Makes it fun.
Tower Skymatix 008, established RDS, runway 13.
Skymatix 008, continue approach.
Good luck, Uncle John. Good luck.
Late landing clearance.
Expecting late landing clearance, 008.
Vacate runway at Charlie, Skymatix 0355.
Skymatix 0355, text to stand number 4 by uniform Victor.
Stand 4 by uniform Victor, Skymatix 0355.
Skymatix 008, wings calm, runway 13, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 13 for Skymatix 008.
Skymatix 0323, turn right heading 310. Skymatix 0323, right heading 310. Skymatix 0323, descend maintain 5,000 feet.
Localizer capture.
Tower, good morning. Skymatix 001 on the ILS for runway 13. We are at 11 mile final.
Skymatix 001, continue approach runway 13, you on number 2, reduce the minimum approach speed.
We are at minimum approach speed already, sir, and we'll continue our approach. Skymatix 001. Here's the runway. I've got it visual.
Skymatix 221, Malta Tower, hello, descend via star runway 13.
Glide slope capture.
Skymatix 0323, descend 3,000.
Thanks, Tommy.
Skymatix 008, clear to
Radio
enter.
altimeter.
Thanks, Anthony. Wow.
Skymatix 008, taxi to stand number 1 via Whiskey.
Stand 1 via whiskey, Skymatix 008.
Skymatix 001, wings calm, runway 13, clear to land.
13, clear to land. Skymatix 001. Yeah. I'm not talking about this fuel bill. That's the accountant's problem.
Skymatix 0323, turn right heading 010.
Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for landing.
Skymatix 008, contact ground 135.1, bye-bye.
125.1 for Skymatix 008, thank you for your service, sir.
1,000.
Taxi
1,000 feet
lights on.
stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Owning ground, Skymatix 008, taxiing Whiskey to stand 1.
Approaching 1-3.
Last station contact ground 135.1.
500. Clear to land
500.
runway 13.
400. Approaching decision height. 300. 200.
Minimums.
100.
Think rate.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Speed break up.
Skymatix 0355 on shock, request frequency
Auto brake
change.
in use.
Nice.
Last station call sign only.
Skymatix 0355.
60 knots.
Skymatix 0355, contact ground
Great landing.
121.6. Sorry for the trouble before.
Thanks for the service, 121.5, Skymatix 0355.
Skymatix 001, exit west, Charlie contact ground 121.6.
121.6, thank you for your service, Skymatix 001.
Thank you.
Flaps up set.
Skymatix 0323, turn left heading 300.
It's not changing the frequency. One 21.6. Strange. After landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
Okay, he's only on text. I can believe it. That's
Wow.
Charlie.
After landing procedure complete.
So he says Charlie, then Tango Uniform Victor. Okay, I got that. And then we need to go to stand 6. Okay. Oh my goodness, Uncle John, what a story.
Have to speed up, Nico.
I know. He just sent me a message to expedite my taxi. Would have been faster if he was on voice.
By a microphone.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed this flight, and I saw some pretty neat cloud formations that I haven't seen before. So, really nice.
There is bad weather approaching the side of Italy in tonight and then tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's going to be until Monday. So it will be nice to test X-Enviro in the zone between Turin, Bergamo, and Venice.
Okay. Turin, Bergamo, and what's the last one?
No, Bergamo is still okay. Sorry, the last one, Venice.
Venice, okay.
Because the bad weather is, there is a cold front approaching the north side of Italy, starting from the west.
Okay. Yo, just a little bit more, man. Alright.
Perfecto.
Yeah. Parking brake set.
You're going to need a couple of days to play with those sliders. I want you to go.
No, mine's okay. Remember, the sliders does not change the quality of the textures. Okay, all it does is it gives you a better rounding or a fading and things like that. And that's where the computation power goes to. So you can start at the very left and then build it up slowly. But and I'll show you my settings just now. Thank you, Tommy. You have a good day too. I'll show you mine just now.
Signing off, guys. Have a good day. Perhaps tomorrow.
Okay, Indrek, just way black.
I'm just going to refire up. It's a close down.
No problem.
Besides that, it was a good flight.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I managed to change from 05 to 13 in time.
Oh, good.
One quick check, guys. The ATC guy said approach via the star, but according to my navigraph, there are no stars.
Yeah, I heard the same. I just ignored it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this beautiful flight this morning. I would like to say that I need to go. I hope we can see each other this evening with a beautiful another flight. Thank you very much. Your captain spoken.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Hakan. We'll talk later again. I'm sure we'll see what happens. Shutdown procedure.
What time should I ride before the flight?
Shutdown procedure.
When you can clarify.
We usually fly around 1600 Zulu.
Roger that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ready for
Well,
shutdown
bye next
procedure.
time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, so who's not landed yet? Let's have a look, see. Who's on his way in now? Abiolo. Let's have a look, see.
Shutdown
Oopsie.
procedure complete.
I am ready for electrical
Ready
power
for
up
shutdown
procedure.
checklist.
Your Linda just wants to fly, eh, Uncle John? Ready for electrical power.
Yeah. Well, she's going to have to wait.
Yeah. Thanks, Restwire. Have a good one. Your side as well. Hey, Colin. Yeah, cool. I haven't flown this route in such a long time. I just thought to myself, you know what? It's time. It's time.
Nice little airport.
Yep. I don't see the man yet. Where are you? Abiolo. Yeah, I'll come in soon.
Oh. Oh. I do hope that Laminate have a rethink with regards to developers.
Yeah. Even the mighty Microsoft had to backtrack on that issue. So there's no point in kicking against the tide and trying to be funny. There is none. Because at the end of the day, you bite your nose to spite yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, they need to concentrate on what they're good at and let the other guy concentrate on what they're good at.
Yeah.
Everybody wins that way. Let's hope the community pick up on it. I will, for one.
Nico,
Yo.
can I see the settings of X-Enviro, or you gonna post in your hangar?
No, let's put it here. I'm still fiddling with the production model. It's different to the beta, so let's just quickly look at what I've got. There you go. For the guys interested, that's my settings that I'm flying with.
Can we screenshot that, Nico?
No, sir. Under no circumstances will I allow that at all, ever.
Let's smack your legs.
And that's with the 1.17.
Yes.
What's he got there? That's, wow. That's changed, isn't it? tick. That's ticked as well. Okay. That's off, that's out, that's okay. That's okay. That one off at bits. Okay.
In Skymatix chats, gents, I put the screenshot there as well in Discord.
Perfect.
He's good to us, so. You don't think?
Sorry, John?
He's good to us.
Yeah.
That's you, Nico. Thank you. Yeah. Nothing.
Okay, I'm sorry. It seems I missed the last landing. I don't know where this John is going to, but John, if you're going to fly again, enjoy. Yeah, that's about the end of it. I hope you guys are happy and enjoyed the flight with us. I am going to play and fill a little bit more with X-Enviro, and we'll see what happens with all the storms and everything that come up now. So far, so good. So far, so good. Ladies and gents, have a fantastic day. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the stream.
Bye.
Okay.